क्या जो दो करम है शह तेरा नहीं सुनता ही नहीं मांग.
So if you are a follower of the Maslak Ala Hazrat, you should be a person who respects and loves his father and his mother dearly, that he would never do anything to harm them. One example, just one example from the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which Allah Hazrat has recorded in his pamphlet about Hukuk Walidain, where Allah Hazrat radiallahu ta'ala talks about a Sahabi who came in the court of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and said, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alaihi wasallam, I have a wife, I have children, and I go out and I earn, and what I earn, the food and drink that I have, is barely enough for my wife and my children. But my father takes it away from me. He takes so much away from me that I can't feed my own children, I can't feed my own wife. Okay? What can I do? How can I prevent my father from doing this? And the hadith is quite long. I can't remember the whole hadith, but what I can remember at this moment I'm mentioning to you. Now, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam called upon his father. Okay? His father came, and when his father came, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked him, okay, what is this that I have heard from your son? So the father explained. The father had written some a poem in the Arabic language, okay, regarding his situation. He began to recite that poem in the Arabic language, in Arabic poetry, in the presence of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he talked about how he was born, and he talks about in that poetry he mentions how much pain the mother had to go through, and the situation they were in, and how he had to go out and earn in order to feed him, and how he had to remain hungry himself and leave his wife hungry so that he could feed this son of theirs. And he talked about all this in his poetry, where the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam had tears coming from his eyes. And the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to the son, he said, go from here, leave from here. And this is how unhappy the Prophet ﷺ became with him. He said, go from here, anta wa maluka lahu, you and all of your wealth belong in the ownership of your father. Go from here. Do you understand? We belong to our fathers. They are our masters. We belong to them. Every wealth, every penny we earn, everything we have, we owe that to our parents. They can ask for whatever they want whenever they want. There's even a hadith where the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that even if they ask for a body part of yours, to cut it off and give it to them, you should give it to them. Okay? Not literally, but to show that even that is owned by them. Okay? So not literally that it is now permissible for you to do that, that's haram to do that, but it means that they own everything of yours. Okay? You and your wealth. So therefore ensure that if you are a follower of Maslak Ala Hazrat, you respect your parents. Okay? You must respect your parents. You must never, you have to make sure that they are pleased with you, because there's a hadith that Allah is pleased, the pleasure of Allah is in the pleasure of your parents. Okay? And it specifically mentions the father. Okay? And the displeasure of Allah is the displeasure of your father. And there's a hadith which says they are your Jannat. Your parents are your Jannah, they are your Jahannam, they are your fire of hell. You choose. You choose what you want them to be. Okay? So you have to make sure that they are always pleased. If you know that they are not pleased, you don't know when you will die. You can die in any instance. Therefore, it is important that you first quickly phone them or do whatever you can to please them, just to make sure that you are satisfied, that they are happy. Because if you die at that moment without the pleasure, then Jahannam is waiting for you.
क्या जो दो करम है शह तेरा नहीं सुनता ही नहीं मांगे वादा